Boom, we are back. 2026, the 4Bs. But there's only two of us. Mr. Rawlin, aka the $1 billion man, and myself. The $1 trillion man. And myself, Sir Neverlook, excellence of execution. No Mrs. No Show, no surprise there. But Dr. Evil 10% is also not here, aka the People's Champ. We are back.
We're back.
We're back.
New year, Bitcoin's booming. World's going to shit as usual, but
the world is definitely
provided
going
we
to
get a
shit.
10% pump, who gives a fuck?
We are about 20% down from all-time highs, but it's still going.
Apparently, America is invading the world, stealing its oil supplies, and for some reason that's bullish for Bitcoin. So, and I think in the short term, look, it is when the US, which we know, it's the current superpower, when they get a windfall, it is bullish for all assets under their control. And at the moment, that's all financial markets. Obviously, they don't technically control Bitcoin, but when it comes to price, a lot of the financial action comes from the US, and then provided they're positive, it kind of just cascades down to other markets. So literally on the news of Venezuela being basically taken over by the US, Bitcoin starts to pump, and we're up about 5-6K in a couple of days, which what's that, 10-15%. But let's not get it twisted. We did get our 2025 predictions kind of screwed up.
Yeah.
2025 was a bit of a roller coaster year, really, wasn't it? Where we kind of I always think we started really well. Like we started, at the, what was it? If you do it in dollars, it's around the 60K mark, and then we go up to the 120 kind of mark. You get a nice little double up, and everyone's going, this is just the first leg. But then it pretty much retreats back to about 80K. So you still got a 25% for the year, but that in at least previous cycles has been, that's the big year, right? That's once every 4 years we get a big bull market. In 25%, it's fantastic for 1 year in any other asset, but in Bitcoin you're going, well, hold on, I've waited 4 years for this. I've taken quite a lot of pain previous. Where's my life-changing money? And obviously a lot of people are predicting it, right? We're in that camp. I'm in that camp. Do you know who else is in that camp? I will show you who's in that camp. So it pretty much, everyone was wrong about Bitcoin in 2025. So Eric Trump, we've got 175K, Michael Saylor, 150K, Robert Kiyosaki, 180 to 200K, Tom Lee, 250K, Shamath, 500K, Tim Draper, 250K. And actually Bitcoin by the end of 2025 was 87. So, which, you know what, it's still, sometimes I still need to give my little head a wobble sometimes to go, we're 87K and people are angry. That's disappointing. Starting the year with 60K and ending on 87 is a bad year. It's obviously still number go up. Number did go up. But yeah, I did think we're going to have a much bigger year. But the good thing is 2026, all I'm hearing is bullish news right now, which even though I say that out loud, if that's all I'm hearing is bullish, the market tends to be the opposite of what the general sentiment is. So maybe it is bear market incoming, but hey, we're still here.
We're still here. We're still doing what we do, and Bitcoin surely should go up in terms of the number. And I know, we always say this, we don't really talk about price, but we do talk about price. But the money printer is going to continue to go brother, right?
Yeah. Well, they've had the ultimate, right? They've got trillions worth of oil, trillions, or maybe it's billions. Who knows whether it's B's or T's worth of gold. So this is the one time where the US benefit without having to do inflation.
Yeah.
Instead of money printing out the air, they've just stolen it from another country.
Yeah, I know. It's just absolutely mad.
Yeah, and obviously there's always a reason for it. Oh, he's a dictator. He's da 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 da. Well, there's lots of dictators in Africa. In relatively poor countries compared to Venezuela. I must admit, until all this happened, I didn't realize how rich Venezuela is. Because you look at the Saudis, right? The Saudis are walking around like big bollocks around every industry on the planet right now. They're just walking into everything, aren't they? Well, especially sports-wise and entertainment. They seem to just be, whether it's boxing, UFC, MMA, football, tennis. They're putting on these epic events, paying them all 5 to 10 times more than they would usually. So they do their thing in Saudi than they do in either America or Europe or wherever. And the Saudis are just buying it up, right? And seem to have bottomless pits of cash and can outcompete America and Europe, which is insane, right? You just go, how can you just pay so much more and make things happen that were never happening? And then you've got Venezuela that have more money than them. Yeah. How many sporting events have you heard in Venezuela? How many financial institutions are in Venezuela? How many of anything? How many stories have you ever heard about Venezuela that weren't about it being a third world country that was in the toilet?
No.
That's
more.
all I've ever heard.
Yeah, more so. And until this week, now all of a sudden, Venezuela's like the prize jewel. It's like, the media has never painted them in that light or in that picture.
No. And it's like, well, if they had this level of resources, why? Anyway, let's just fucking leave it because, we know it's all just WWE and we're all just being fucking.
Definitely is WWE.
We're getting sold down the river. So our next story in the Bitcoin news, which, by the way, we probably need to acknowledge we did have pretty much a month off. Various schedule conflicts, Christmas, can't be fucked. And then, we're back. So, new year, new start. Do you reckon we can keep this going every week? What's your schedule looking like over your side?
Yeah, it's looking a little bit crazy coming up, if I'm honest. Next week, all good. The week after, not so good because I'm in Barcelona. Then the following week, I'm in Belgrade, Serbia. So 2 weeks, 20th, 27th out. 3rd, I'm back. 10th, I'm good. But then probably not great for the 17th because they've got a conference coming up then. And then, all good after that. 24th, 3rd, 10th. So, a little bit sketchy, but hopefully you can hold the fort with Dr. Evil 10%.
If you're a loyal listener, basically, you're fucked because, Bitcoin hasn't done its fucking thing that it's meant to do in 2025. We're not all retired. And
no, we're not.
You're still on the grind in the rat race, fucking flying around the world trying to sell software. So
it's crazy as well, right? And what are we now? 4 years into the pod, and from where I started on the pod, I, for all intents and purposes, have more Bitcoin today than I did then, right? But I'm still in the rat race, so I want to be out the rat race. So as and when Bitcoin finally moons to my number, because everyone has a number, then you will get weekly pods because there will be no excuses or less excuses. But until then, deal with this sporadic
Mm,
gems that we delivered to your earlobes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine, at the same time that happens, our 16 listeners will also stop listening.
Yeah.
It'd be that perfect little golden cross of all four of us being able to finally pod regularly and our viewership just naturally going to zero as they all fuck off as well. So
Right.
that sets us up well for our future in podcasting. Anyway, bringing it back. Yeah, this next story, right? I'm gonna click it in because actually no, I'm not going to click it in because I must admit I listened to this video numerous times. I could barely understand what was even happening in the video. But so essentially, if you want to listen to it, it's in the show notes. You can click it. It's a minute long. But essentially, what it is California passed a bill to seize Bitcoin left idle on exchanges. After 3 years of inactivity, assets can be taken by the state under unclaimed property laws. And this video, the one funny bit in it is they pitch this as, oh, crypto is growing up and it's getting super mature. We need to embrace it as part of our financial system. So therefore, if it wants to be that, it has to adhere to this, which basically means after 3 years, if you haven't touched it, we fucking steal it from you. So it's like, oh, welcome to the fiat land crypto, as in, obviously Bitcoin is obviously is the only thing we care about. But this basically means if you buy Bitcoin and you are a hodler, this obviously is only in America, by the way. This isn't in the UK. It's only in America. But you buy your Bitcoin, let's just say you went out, you buy your 10K worth of Bitcoin, you shove it on your Coinbase or your Kraken or your Gemini, and you just go, it's there, it's safe. I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah.
If you leave it for more than 3 years, these fuckers will fucking take it. So,
Swiped.
and who knows? It's interesting. Like, what is inactivity? If
Mm.
if I log in, does that start it? I think it probably would. So probably just logging in is enough. But some people have been like, oh, you have to move it. You have to like either add to the wallet or move something out of the wallet. And that starts to become a little bit crazy, right? Because that's now, well, you're either forcing me to buy Bitcoin that maybe I didn't want to buy, which, to be honest, like, provided it's like by £1 worth, right? If yeah, but even that is, it's still scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if anything, I take this as a positive, right? Because this is fiat land enforcing its rules on Bitcoin land. And what this should do is wake up a load of people that have money on or have Bitcoin on an exchange and go, you're telling me that they can just take it. I thought it's Bitcoin. You can't take Bitcoin. It's like, well, you can't take Bitcoin that isn't on an exchange. You have to take
Correct.
custody. So the solution to it clearly
Take
is
custody.
everybody on it. Don't buy your Bitcoin on an exchange because obviously 99% of us, that's how you do it. Then take custody of it. Then
Yeah.
forget. You can leave it there for 33 years, 333 years. No politician can go, well, that hasn't moved. We're taking control of it now. No, no, no. You can't take control of my Bitcoin on a hardware wallet. But if you leave it on an exchange in America after 3 years, they now can legally just steal it from you,
Yeah.
which is also terrifying. Obviously, they're saying this is like obviously opening up us up to fiat land. That then means that if you have dollars in any of these institutions, say you die or you have a relative that, gets dementia or whatever, if it takes you 3 years to find their account and they didn't access it during that time, they're just gonna fucking steal it from you. Like, 3 years sounds like a scarily short amount of time to me. I would, I don't know, if I was setting a law like this, if I was some kind of governor, in my head, I'm like, it's at least 10. Like, come on. If someone doesn't log into their bank account for less than 10 years, maybe after that point, maybe you could arguably say it's lost. So therefore you can kind of just absorb it. But was there anything less than that makes me think, well, hold on, like the relatives might be just not know, or the person might, it's just their savings account, dude.
Yeah,
You could be 60, you've got money in account, you check the balance every fucking day, like, through the statements or whatever, but you don't log in, you don't tell them you're alive or anything like that. You're just like, yeah, yeah, that's my little nest egg. And if nothing happens, I don't need to touch it. Really, that's inheritance. So I'll touch that when I'm dead. And then at some point during like your life, the bank just goes, yoink. You're like, where'd my money go? Like, well, you didn't touch it for 10 years, so it's fucking gone. Fuck you. Like, what the hell? Like, that was just money that was for a rainy day, and the day it never rained, so I've left it there. And three is like, that's ins to me, it's actually the more I actually think about this, the more insane it is because the amount of like, once you get to a certain amount of money, you have to have a certain amount of bank accounts, a certain amount of money in each one because that's the insurance levels and all that type of stuff. You just can't start thinking, well, there's loads of accounts that I don't even check, right? They're
yeah.
just sat there. And
Uh,
in America land, I could have had like, I don't know, who knows how many how much money stolen from me just because I didn't touch it for 3.
I know. I do think about this as well because I remember opening up it wasn't Chase. It wasn't Chase Bank. It was Marcus Bank. And just put a quid in there just to go through the journey and all of that. And
It's a great bank, by the way, that.
yeah, and I'd never really done anything more with it. Just, but do they now have the option to seize it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I would back Marcus purely on the interest rate.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do, yeah, that's why I actually hold my day-to-day money that I use in the UK.
Okay, yeah,
I hold it
yeah,
in Marcus, yeah, because it's the
yeah,
best interest rate that I can get.
yeah.
And then whenever I need to spend money, I have to then transfer that into a UK bank, usually Revolut or Barclays, which I use on the day to day. I have two cards for them, but savings slash like just the slush fund, I put into Marcus because they pay like 5-6%.
Correct. Yeah,
There's no card, you can't make payments from the account. But it's
yeah.
I think it's JP
That's
Morgan,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
which is yeah, kind of fuck them, but also if they're going to bring out a good product and give you good interest rate for the short time that I want to hold fiat, I might as well put it in the best bank that will pay the best interest. But go on, let's move on. That's fucking depressing me anyway. The next one is a good fucking combo of good news, bad news. Good news, it's about OnlyFans. Bad news is about stealing Bitcoin from them. So we've got this girl called Amaranth or Amaranth,
Yeah.
who knows? But she accidentally shared her crypto wallet that had $20 million. She had 211 Bitcoin, um, and also 22.9 Ethereum. So she's got her priorities in order. It's actually good to see, I must admit. Like seeing an OnlyFans model with like basically 99% of her wealth in Bitcoin, and then the only shit coin she's got is Ethereum. I must admit, I kind of say fair play because that's
It's a lot, isn't it?
well, yeah, 20 basically having 80 grand in Ethereum. That's basically her pocket change, and her main savings are clearly in Bitcoin. To whatever she's had donated to her, I wouldn't be surprised if this Ethereum. It's when she got round to it, she was just converting it all into Bitcoin. I'd imagine there's loads of shit coins kind of below here. She's just converting it all into Bitcoin as it comes in. But the negative news is that however this got leaked, her wallet, the post went viral. She lived in Houston and her home was invaded by armed attackers. She was pistol whipped and forced to give up crypto access. She tweeted for help during the attack. Her husband fired shots. Attackers fled. 4 suspects were later arrested. Sparked debate on crypto wealth, privacy, and safety. So basically, it was a bit of a half-assed attempt to steal that money from her. But it didn't take a huge mistake for her in her streaming to kind of reveal how much money she had. And the fact that she realized, or that people realized she had $20 million worth of Bitcoin made her a target and people came straight for her, which isn't great. They didn't get it, which is also great, but she obviously got a bit beaten up. Husband had to like fire shots. But because obviously this wouldn't happen if this got revealed that in her bank account she had 20 million quid, no one would come and bash your door down, right? Because they know they can't get the 20 million out of the account reliably where they can keep it. Because clearly, if like obviously
It's
there's no transaction that you can do, it's to put 20 million big, right? You've got
exactly.
the amount of the phone calls you'd need to do with the bank to justify who are you sending $20 million to. Clearly, the thief would get caught in that transaction, right? Because there isn't a paper trail that is ever going to justify sending $20 million from one account to another. But in Bitcoin land, there's no intermediary, no one asks questions. You want to send 20 million from one wallet to another wallet, it just goes. But yeah, for me, that's you got to take the good with the bad, right? If you don't want censorship and you don't want transactions to be blocked, censored, monitored, verified in any shape or form, you want a free market, a genuine free market, you have to take the good with the bad. And the bad is, yeah, you can lose 20 million quid in one theft.
It's crazy that as
That is,
well. Yeah,
although you can mitigate that by splitting your funds up.
splitting. Yeah,
Clearly, it looks like this person had it all in one wallet, and you know that comes with risks. It's definitely advisable to split it up. If you are going to be your own bank and you've got 20 million quid in your bank, then maybe it's almost like ironic, isn't it, that she probably spent 100 quid on her entire security for her wealth, and her wealth is $20 million here, and she probably spent about $100 on her security, which was one hardware wallet. So all she probably had to do really is spend a little bit more than that, like 10x more than that, $1,000 or $2,000, buy a load of hardware wallets, split those funds up, and then if someone does come calling and puts a gun to your head, if you have to give up a key, you're giving up a key to 10%, 5%, as
I
opposed to the whole lot. But this is the problem, isn't it? Like when everyone is their own bank,
yeah,
we're all a bank job, right? We're a bank job away from losing fucking everything.
yeah, exactly that. And I've thought about that as well. And obviously, we've talked about security and the best way, decoy ledgers, etc. Putting the ledger somewhere that's not in your property, which is great, but because it's not like you need access to it. But then the one time when you need access to it, it's just like when it snows and the 4x4 is in the garage. So yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I think this should be paramount. And I'm saying this knowing that I probably need to do the same, split ledgers and then have multiple seed phrases. And I know it makes it more complicated, but it avoids situations like this.
Mm. It's
Um,
another downside, obviously, of Bitcoin is the fact that you can you can leak a transaction sometimes, and then they can look at that transaction, see which wallet it's attached to, and then ultimately see a balance. Whereas obviously in the fiat land, if someone grabbed a receipt from you, like you drop it in a store, and they're like, "Oh, you just paid, £70 to some clothing firm," they can't now backtrack that and go, "Oh, their balance on that account is 2 million quid or 20 million quid." It's a one-off transaction, isn't it? And it's meaningless. You can't, it's all behind a brick wall. Whereas in Bitcoin land, because it is transparent, you let the world know about one transaction, the world can take a look at that transaction and go, well, what wallets have interacted with it, backtrack it, and before they know it, they can see all the Bitcoin that's been sent to that address. And obviously, in this instance, that's what's happened, and they've seen there's 211 Bitcoin in this wallet, and they've gone, this girl has that. She's an easy target.
Yep.
And they've gone and tried to intimidate her and get the money. And fortunately, they didn't get it. That's great, but it's not good that seemingly she got beaten up and shots had to be fired to get rid of them. But it does remind me back in the day, when you're watching the films of the gold standard days, it reminds me of that, and it's just a case of, I don't know, I think we're so freaking soft these days that we don't think we need proper security where it is weapons and potential security. But in the gold standard days, literally cowboys and Indians, when people dug gold out of the ground, the first thing that would happen is someone try and nick it.
Yeah, because you've done all the hard work, and then they just
There's thousands of people out there digging in the desert looking for gold, and the people would wait back in the town for the one group of people that come back with heavy bags.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're getting robbed. So the first thing you'd have to do is go, right, we need to secure the gold that we now have. You'd have to protect it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're in those early stages in Bitcoin land where I think we're walking back from the desert. There's a load of us with heavy bags of Bitcoin, and we're just like cheering. And the impoverished town is sat there going, you motherfuckers. So we're like, we were right, you were wrong. And they're like, they're like, we haven't got anything to eat. And they're just sharpening their forks and their knives. Like, just going to come running at us. It's we're going to have to get security, aren't we? We're part of the gold rush. We have the only thing that's valuable in this new era. And we're going to have to protect it. And it's just another one of those harsh realities, isn't it? Where if this is right, and if we're right, and this is the new evolution of money, then you are going to have to protect what you've got. And which is again, being in this city makes it near impossible.
Yeah.
Too many people.
Yeah.
Can't shoot them all, bro. They respawn too fast.
Yeah, and it's essentially from what I read yesterday, what the US are potentially doing to Venezuela. That apparently they also have Bitcoin reserves as well as oil. So they're not only taking the oil, but they're taking that as well and saying, "Yep, we'll seize that, and that's ours now." Yeah, you did all the hard work, but thanks.
Yeah. But it's because what's the crazy thing is it? Like, obviously America has just usually they would lie and say some form of we're going to put a new government in, we'll oversee it, but because it's Trump world at the moment, he is a totally no bullshit, no kind of softly approach kind of president. He's just like, yeah, we're in control now. So everything Venezuela has is now America's. He's said it. He literally said it.
Yeah.
So oil is theirs, gold is theirs, Bitcoin is theirs. Yeah. America now run Venezuela. And they say they're going to run it in Venezuelans' best interests. I saw a great tweet that listed all the countries that America has done this to. And basically at the end just going, and how did it work out for them? The list of countries is Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Vietnam, blah, 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 blah. It's the whole list is countries that are at the bottom of every metric that you want to be at the top of. So it's like, good luck, Venezuela.
They're like the what's their face?
Well, this time it's different.
Yeah. Oh, I've forgotten the name of them. Uh, the 575 to 1. And then they
Oh,
won.
fucking hell.
Yeah. BlackRock. They're the
BlackRock.
BlackRock.
Yeah.
You know, they were 574, and the one that they lost, they repealed, and they won. So the 575. So yeah, good luck, Venezuela,
Yeah.
because it's happened. And I guess I also saw something around Denmark and Greenland being scared, and
Mm.
I don't suspect, like, how, well, they definitely couldn't even fight back. Um,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
no, clearly, yeah. That's why I don't think they even have to do it, do they? They don't have to do anything hostile there.
no,
I think this is a landing zone that, so they don't need to own that, do they? They just need to buy a fucking strip of land.
yeah,
But with Venezuela, you need the whole shebang because you need the whole, you need all of it, don't you? You need the oil, you need the
yeah,
gold, the minerals. So just cut the head off the snake.
yeah.
That's what they've
Come
done.
in. Yeah, I actually watched a really interesting video of the way that they did it, and yeah, cliche. It was a military operation, but it was very very good and well done to take him out alive as well, or without knowing.
Yeah. Although I did hear 100 people died.
Ah, interesting.
It depends which videos you watch. And there's also what's one
That's
topic?
probably security stuff, isn't it?
We don't really know, but this is the 24 hours that this guy was supposedly arrested and then transported. Um, he has four changes of clothes. So he's arrested in a suit. Then he's got a photograph with him in a hoodie. Then he's in some type of tracksuit.
Yeah,
Then he's in a black tracksuit with
yeah.
a weird hat on. All these photos are within a 24-hour period. So it's to say at least there seems to be something shady going on. Because
Mm,
why would one person have four changes of clothes in 24 hours? Well, after he's been arrested, supposedly in the middle of the night. And yeah, so something weird's going on. But anyway, let's get back to Bitcoin. So next story. This is an interesting one, especially for anyone that wants to loan against their Bitcoin and not sell it. Because Tim Draper is not your usual fucktard on Bitcoin Twitter. He probably is a bit of a fucktard to be fair, but he's this little fellow with weird eyebrows. Um, has quite a lot of followers. He's a big investor in everything, but recently has been a big investor in Bitcoin probably over the last 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I got a book of his on how to start up a startup years ago, like 2016, 2017, and he was talking about it
Yeah.
then and how much he invested in it. And I
Mm.
didn't get round to properly reading the book until much later, and I was just like, "Oh my God, the answer was here years ago, literally."
Yeah. If you had
Yeah,
Tim Draper's book, yeah,
yeah.
he was a very early investor in Bitcoin, but I saw this tweet of his. So he's made a an investment in Sats Terminal, which is interesting because when Bitcoin holders face a brutal choice of when they need cash, you got to sell your Bitcoin and then yeah, you cry
Mhm.
later. I
Mhm.
I have done that many, many times. Or spend 6 hours comparing complicated CeFi platforms with confusing rates and custody risk. Neither option makes sense.
Correct.
I also completely agree.
Yeah.
Any platform up until now that says, okay, you can loan off your Bitcoin based on
Mhm.
this has either been stupidly short rates, which is less than 12 months, or stupidly stupid interest rates, which is either stupidly low or stupidly high, depending on which way you want it to go. It just, in reality, loaning against your Bitcoin has not been possible
Correct.
in my view, right, up until now.
It's funny
Um,
actually. Just to
yeah,
cut you off and just to say something. Someone asked me just this weekend when we caught up with them. Uh, First of all, they were like, "I love you and I hate you," because I put in our WhatsApp group the fact that I said buy Bitcoin and it was at 6,000 in 2017, and I wish they just listened and carried on and doing that. Obviously,
yeah.
they didn't, and they were like, "I commend you for your stoicism of just continuing to stack sats."
Stoicism, what a fucking word. Love it.
Yeah, it's a great word, isn't it? It's like, yeah, regardless of whatever you say, I'm going to continue to do what I've said I'm going to do.
Fucking believe it, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. It told you to research it, get into it. But then, yeah, it's just where else was I going with it? Oh yeah, but hate you because I wish I'd have done it. I was like, well, it was out there, right? It was there. I was telling you.
There it is.
But yeah, I said, oh, this was it. My point was,
Oh,
when would I clock out? Is when the time comes that you can loan against your Bitcoin, is what I actually said.
all right.
So I said, when it is, when it's capable, and the time isn't now, or maybe it is now with Tim Draper's solution. But until that point, just like you can loan against your house or another asset, that's when I would look to not sell it, but do something with it. Until then, and I've always said this, I guess the three Bs, because there's really three, you know, why we are all very similar and still so aligned is we are so similar in the fact that we have that stoicism of we won't. I know obviously you're in a different position, but we won't touch it. We will just continue to do what we're doing and do the pod and stack sats, and just be frugal with our expenses until the time's right.
Mm,
That's what we are. It's like a DNA trait that some of us share and some of us don't share because there's people that have that low time preference and just have to have it now. Whereas we're like, nah, we're okay. We'll wait next year or the year after.
exactly. Which is it's super timely actually for me because I've got a tax bill coming up and I've also got some personal bills coming up. So I
Yeah.
have to sell some Bitcoin, which to pay a bill from a week ago. And since then I've lost out on substantial amount of money because the price went up, right?
Of course,
And
yeah,
that's
it
gone.
hurts.
It's gone. So the whole cry later, I don't
Oh.
cry, it's not even later. You cry immediately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it knows. Oh, great. Mr. Rollins just sold some of me.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll pump now.
yeah. So the tax man wants some money, bang. And I would love to have an institution that just went, I've got this much Bitcoin. Can you give me a loan to pay these fuckers off? And I keep the Bitcoin there. So as the price goes up, I get to fucking keep on the gains. Obviously, it does have the adverse effect, which is obviously if they were to, let's say my bill was 10K and I have 10K of Bitcoin and I allocate that Bitcoin to this loan, so that they gave me 10K of cash to pay my debtor, but then my Bitcoin goes from 10K to 5K. Now we've got a different
Mm.
problem, which is now I owe them 5K, and now I'm on the hook for 5K that they need to chase. But provided it's over enough time limit, my whole point is the time limit. If you do it over 12 months, it's stupid, right? Because we know Bitcoin can fluctuate crazy, go up crazy, down crazy. But if we finally get an institution that will do it over 4, 5, 6, 7 years, now in game. Like right now, I have very, very confident. I
Mm.
tend a 10K loan off 10K worth of Bitcoin. See you in 5 years. I am
Mm.
as confident as you can get that my 10K of Bitcoin today is going to be worth way more in 5 years than it is today. So even if you like, no matter what, even if I default and like pay nothing back, I should have 10K of profit. Like the price should at least doubled, right, in 5 years. Like, it's just fucking normal. So so yeah, so we've got this tweet here, which basically is going, this is the problem. Sats Terminal seems to have launched Borrow, which and these are non-custodian marketplace, which basically means you get to keep custody of your Bitcoin. They just need to know where it is, and they will give you money off the back of that.
Mm.
No KYC. They're going to verify you, which
That, yeah,
that sounds a little bit insane because at the end of the day, I could give them fucking your keys, or I could give them Tim Draper's keys and go, "That's my
mm.
Bitcoin. Can I have a loan off that?" And
Yeah,
how do you know the keys I'm giving you are my key? They must have to do something like send a transaction from that address or something. I'm sure they do. But no KYC. Love the shit out of this. Love it. We keep custody, real time, transparent quotes, da da da, and they'll flow your Bitcoin to stable coins, whatever. So basically, essentially, what it really means is they will give you a loan off your Bitcoin, and you don't need a KYC with them. You don't need to give your Bitcoin to them. I'm assuming all you need to do is prove you own the Bitcoin. Um, oh, it's so weird though, because clearly you have to prove who you are. Because
you
if I
have
don't
to.
pay,
Yeah,
clearly, even if I own the Bitcoin, how are they going to get me to give it to them?
correct. I don't get that part because I think that it has to help, like, escrow. It has to be held in escrow somewhere, surely. So you cannot hold on to the asset,
Well,
get the
you can
cash.
loan against your house, though, can't you? Right?
Yeah, you can loan against your house, but again, that's a physical thing which they can come and then seize. Whereas, how are you going to seize the digital thing without giving it up in some way, shape, or fashion? It doesn't make sense
No, it
because you
doesn't.
could easily disappear.
Yeah, I think I was so excited when I read this Sats Terminal tweet from Tim Draper going, I can't wait for this company. But then, since reading it out loud, it's such a stupid idea that I don't think it's going to work. And even if they launched it, they're going to get scammed to hell, aren't they? There's going to be a load of people that are going to be out there that will use this service to literally take loans out on Bitcoin they either don't own or they do own but have no intention of paying debts on. So whether the price goes up or price goes down, they're just going to run for the hills. So
Mm,
that's an interesting experiment because I must admit, my default position, guys, it's so good. Like sometimes when you talk this stuff through, like
yeah,
because it's my default position always has been we don't need debt when we're in a bit on a Bitcoin standard because it's just you earn money and you pay for what you can afford today, and it's just the fucking back in the what that's the way of the world. You don't take on debt. There's no interest rates because so much of it is just it's just silly. And this type of kind of product that kind of goes, oh, borrow against your Bitcoin, it does just break because you shouldn't be able to lend out money for one thing and get it back for another
yeah.
because you didn't do anything. I suppose there's some risk. Hmm. Right, interesting.
I can't see it in any way, shape, or fashion that you could do no KYC, no verification, not hand over any keys, and still get money. Doesn't work.
No, because when you default,
Yeah, which will happen.
yeah, like you're gonna get some people that lend Bitcoin at the top, it fucking bear markets, and it's all due.
And I know he's a
If you haven't KYC'd them, like, and then they
yeah,
don't pay, how are you going to enforce it? If
correct.
there
And
is
I
no
know Tim
enforcement,
Draper's a
then it's
billionaire.
it's a free roll, isn't it?
Yeah,
Basically, you you basically all you do is you get as much debt as you can, plow it into this. If it works, you're a millionaire. If it doesn't, run away because you didn't
yeah,
get KYC'd.
yeah, yeah.
And they don't know who you are anyway. So fuck them. Who are they going to chase? Some fucking wallets.
Exactly.
Good luck chasing wallets, bro. Although to be
Maybe.
fair, like chasing wallets is quite an effective thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
He's not. Yeah,
Good
he's
old
not
Timmy boy.
maybe filled in all of the information and put all of the information out there to convince everybody.
I think what he's assuming is that everyone's good actors.
Hmm. Yeah.
If if the world works as the world should work, where the people that need debt get debt, the people that can afford to give debt give it, it all works. But the second you introduce the bad actor, it, it collapses.
Yeah.
They can just manipulate that system to hell. Which, as much as I hate KYC, is why it's there. Which is why I don't believe in debt. Because you don't need KYC if you don't have debt.
Yeah.
If all you're doing is paying for a transaction, then well, the person's in front of you, right? You're dealing with the person there. Yeah, yeah. Right. Next story. We are going back to the US, unfortunately. But apparently, good old Donny O. Trumpy has gone back on one of his promises, which is the fact that he would create a Bitcoin reserve, and he did manage to redefine a Bitcoin reserve or a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I pardon my French, the word strategic was not included. But basically, they're not going to, no, America's not going to buy Bitcoin, of course they're not. They're going to steal it from their citizens. They're going to hold it. And then the Trump era was going to be different from the previous eras. They're going to seize that Bitcoin and keep it. And that will become their strategic Bitcoin reserve, will be all the Bitcoin that they steal, they will keep. However, the last bit of Bitcoin that they took was from the Samurai devs. The Samurai devs, by the way, are the guys that allowed you to mix your Bitcoin and make it anonymous and send it on, which is a fantastic service. And they got punished with that service by getting multiple years in prison, which is, yet another attack on the US government on Bitcoin. But these guys had a number of Bitcoin seized from them, and it's been sold. The US government have sold it. People have been tracking the wallets. Bitcoin went from Samurai to the US government, and they sold it. So Trump was not correct. Not only are they not creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve, even the money they are stealing, they're still selling it.
Yeah. Which,
Are you expecting that? Well, you think they're going to do that, or is it a surprise or not?
well, they've been doing it all along the way, haven't they? To be honest, they haven't really realised
They're
what.
supposed to stop though. He literally
Yeah,
said,
yeah, exactly. So past governments have always done that, but they said, yeah, we will hold on to it and make the reserve, and clearly haven't.
yeah,
Yeah.
lying bastards. Oh, a lot of them. Right,
Next story.
we're nearly getting there. Don't worry, you can go to bed soon. We're very, very close. Um,
Early
so
start. Yeah.
so we have a guy here that works at where does he? He works at Where does this guy work? Bitcoin today. Oh, God damn it. Oh, Bitcoin Advisor, right, BTC Advisor. Yeah. Um, and Unchained. So basically, this guy has a long tweet, right, where he's basically got a guy that has been buying Bitcoin and securing it with them as a third party custodian. So basically, what you can do instead of having hardware wallets, you can pay companies to look after your Bitcoin for you and have multiple keys that are split between yourself and them. That basically secures your Bitcoin. So no Bitcoin can be sent unless you and they agree and share codes. And this guy is sharing a story of a client basically calling up that has stored a substantial amount of Bitcoin with them. And he's basically describing the fact that he has this girlfriend or partner that's clearly ripping him off. Isn't a real person. It's a big scam, and they've got them to buy this Bitcoin in the first place purely to send it to them. They've put in text message chats, the whole lot, and clearly this person is being scammed. It is a massive romance scam. They've got them to save a load of money in Bitcoin and then get that Bitcoin and send it to them. But they've done it for a custodian. And this custodian is telling them, don't do this. This is a scam. This person's not real. But they've gone, you don't understand. They are real. It's not a scam. I want to send it. So they went, okay. And they agreed and they signed the transaction. They sent this money to this person. And then afterwards, they've realized, it's a scam. This person's
It's
not
a
real.
scam. It was always a scam. It said it on the tin. It's a scam.
Yeah. And it's this is, I must admit, this is kind of crazy, right? Because it's the ultimate in accountability, isn't it? Because they've tried to outsource a bit of their accountability. Because this is great. This type of service is great for inheritance and stuff. Because if basically they end up keeping three keys, and basically if one of the keys dies, the other two still work. So there's two custodians usually and you, and to send a transaction, you need at least two of the three. But so if you die, your relatives can call up and get these two organizations to cooperate to send the Bitcoin back to you, and you still have to have the money, right? Whereas in the old world, if there's only you and you die, the Bitcoin's gone and your family can't get it. So if you want to trust one of these companies, then this is what you would do. But clearly, I think the only weird thing about this story really is the fact that this person's being scammed. The person clearly knew, get them to buy Bitcoin and then get them to send it to me, because that's the best way of doing it, right? As we discussed earlier in that OnlyFans example of $20 million, anything over $10,000 in a fiat bit normal finance transaction, they'll get flagged. The fraud team will start looking at it. They might pause it. They might freeze it. But in crypto and Bitcoin land, it just goes through as normal. It's just another transaction, whether it's $1 or $1 billion, it just goes through the same. So they've got them to save in Bitcoin and then at some point to send it to them. But they've got them to save it in like this third party custodian thing. And then they've had to then go, right, now we want it. So maybe it got lost in translation and they've gotten to buy Bitcoin and they bought Bitcoin, but bought it through this custodian. And then they've gone, well, I need the money now. So they've phoned up that custodian and gone, send all the money. This is when they're going, I don't know. I don't know how it's obviously all turned about, but unfortunately, it turned about that they sent the money. They emptied the account and sent it to this person, and then quite shortly after, they realized, oh yeah, the person's not real. It's just some fucking Serbian scammer. It's not this Belarus fucking bombshell that I thought I was fucking gonna be marrying next month. It's some pot-bellied bitch. I sent him 2 mil.
Eating baked beans out of a tin in his pants.
You won't be for much fucking longer though.
No, exactly. Caviar out of wearing an Armani suit.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's the one good thing I took out of this story really was the fact that I don't think they were Bitcoiner before. I think they were an idiot before. The only reason they bought Bitcoin was because they were getting scammed and they got told to buy Bitcoin. So because they realized that they had so much money that having that much money in fiat, they wouldn't get it. So they got them to buy Bitcoin with it first and then scammed them in Bitcoin because they knew they couldn't get that back.
I always think that if he was a true Bitcoiner, the whole "I'll double your money" immediately screams too good to be true, and the fact that the person, like, obviously is the trader. Like, I actually have heard and seen people who I think are kind of intelligent but clearly not, like, do stuff like this. I remember one person that they said, "Oh yeah, I give this person, this trader, who I trust, like, money, and then tell them to double the money and do stuff like this." And I'm like, "Wow, you clearly have no clue." And it's because people just are happy to outsource their pockets or finances and brains at the same time, and just let somebody else try and take over for them and hope for the best. Again, what we've done is we've actually employed hard brain power to actually get to where we have, and it's why others that I've seen get into Bitcoin, price goes down a little bit, they lose money, get out and sell, and then say, "Oh yeah, it's all just a scam," when it's not, clearly. And again, it goes back to the classic case of they haven't put in any work.
Well, people just love being scammed, I think, sometimes.
I always say this: it's humans. It's in our nature to be trusting.
Mm.
We don't like the nervous system doesn't like being at that disposition of being wary all the time.
Mm.
So we always look for the good in people because then it's easier on the actual body physically to be like, "Oh, I'm at rest," and not be on eggshells and nervous. So it's just like, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, sometimes, I mean, even sometimes, the classic phrase of red flags. Like, you even see the red flags, but you then ignore the red flags because it's easier on the body to be like, yeah, so what? And I think it's just a human, fallacy and fakeness of what, is it's a recessive gene that we just cannot get rid of.
Yeah. It's insane actually, because literally today I watched this great little YouTube video. Never seen this guy before, but he just walks around Europe saying, "I'll paint your car for free." He's just this random, and he's an amazing artist. And basically, he grabs cars, grinds them down, repaints them. He does trainers. He does the whole shebang. And it's and most of the people he walked up to and offered this free service to just turned him down without a second thought,
Mm.
right? and they didn't realize what they were doing because this guy is basically hyper talented, hyper rich, and you give him your room, your car, whatever, you're going to get 50 grand plus worth of artwork coming your way. And most people just say no without even contemplating it. It's
Correct.
like no, because they're expecting a scam. They're like, "Where's the grift?" And in this very rare instance, there is no grift. It's just he's a YouTuber who's very, very wealthy and can give out 50 grand gifts of time and resource and materials and easily recoup it in the video that he will make doing that thing. But yeah, he wasn't offering to suck anyone off. Whereas I think the second you do that, I must admit, I think most people's brain faculties tend to switch off. And if you promise that, yeah, I think you can get a lot of people to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've only
It's the
got one.
classic incentives, isn't it? You know, what's the incentive off it? But
I'll
most
suck you
people
off.
are,
That's the
yeah,
incentive.
yeah.
So, last story, and we promise we will leave you after this. We apologize for keeping you this long. Um,
Got to ease them back in.
yeah. So, basically, just Jimmy Carr, and I fucking hate Jimmy Carr now. I used to be edgy. He's, as far as I'm concerned, quite wokey cokey now. But yeah, he's on his Israeli-owned podcast, which is this. Where are they to? Go on. Where are their faces? Fucking some. There they are. Those two fucking Jewish bastards. Those two.
Yeah, go on. Say it so that we get cancelled in
Look,
2026. I'm surprised we've even made it this
look
far.
at them.
You know,
Israel assets, basically.
anti-Semitism. We've lost our Jewish audience.
That's two people, but
That's two people of the
is
16.
98% of our political influence gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We are not going to penetrate the YouTube algorithm this year in a positive way.
oh man, it's okay. We're now in. No one listens this far in. We're fucking golden at this point.
We're in the golden hour.
We need to start being like, I can
Yeah.
say whatever you want, but
Everyone's like, yeah, oh yeah, the back, like the bells icons ringing, like, oh, there's a new episode, there's a new episode, and yeah, sorry to disappoint.
cancelled.
Yeah,
But no, I can't even remember what the fucking story was now. Oh yeah, yeah, Jimmy Carr basically just mentioned
yeah,
at
yeah.
one
Jimmy
point,
Carr.
and he's basically just talking about. Um, I like how the fact that he's a normal person who's clearly gone woke that but doesn't have the full Israel agenda yet because he is basically going, all right, Bitcoin mining is super profitable, right? Loads of companies have made loads of money off Bitcoin mining. So as well as doing the green energy, like wind power, solar, and all that, why don't we do Bitcoin mining? And it's just crazy to hear someone like him mention Bitcoin in a positive light because it's obviously so alien and it of course makes sense if you do believe in all those kind of things, which is the climate crisis and all that, which, for anyone that is paying any level of attention is, clearly overblown and, ice caps should have melted like 50 years ago or whatever, but he's bringing it into a new kind of realm, which is, oh, he's learned about this thing whilst seeing a problem without being told, oh no, dismiss that thing. He hasn't been told that yet. So he's just bringing Bitcoin into the conversation and they're like straight away want to bat it away and go, why are you bringing Bitcoin into this? They don't need a new currency to, use this excess power that is in these out of reach places where the energy can't be used. There's no point doing that. No, no, no. Like that doesn't help the basically the deep state. But it was interesting seeing someone like Jimmy Carr mention Bitcoin because he has logically found his way to Bitcoin,
Yeah.
but will get told he's wrong and he's an idiot by the system because the system's corrupt and the system isn't rational and doesn't make sense and is completely tilted to benefit the few and not the many. So that's why he will realize that mentioning Bitcoin in this type of conversation is wrong. Bitcoin mining isn't the solution to anything in fiat land. Of course, it makes sense, but if you're in control of the money printers, Bitcoin doesn't make sense at all. That kills the whole power you have is destroyed by Bitcoin mining. So you just want to dismiss that as a scam and continue with, yeah, you should invest in solar farms and wind farms, hydro dams. Like that's where energy comes from. Like that's not, and if energy gets wasted, energy gets wasted. Yeah, it's just that's part of the system. Don't filter it through to Bitcoin mining. There was isn't that some scam like Ponzi thingy majiggy? You, I think it's just interesting seeing a very in my land anyway, like an A-lister type kind of character mention Bitcoin and it just fall flat completely,
Mm.
which isn't surprising, right? Because clearly he's not on with anyone that obviously he's on with freaking two Jews, right? So they're not going to be positive about Bitcoin.
Well, I also want to mention one of my favorite rappers, Nas. He in his latest album, just released before Christmas, talks about a lot about tech. So Nas has been like a really big investor. So he invested in Coinbase, he invested in Ring, but also invested in, we believe, Bitcoin, and he uses the word crypto, unfortunately, but also Bitcoin as well. And as the new drug game, and that just appeals to a massive audience, like his audience. And it's kind of a thing where if he says it, people will definitely start to gravitate towards it. So I suspect, and again, I saw Nas in 2024 when he came to the UK. Like he draws such a big and wide, diverse crowd. People hang on every whim of his words, you know. So I can see the masses starting to pay attention to more of what he's doing. So yeah, that's that's where I'm going with that.
So maybe Nas will get me buying Bitcoin. But yeah, but I think
Yeah.
overall, I think we're set for a good. I'm excited about 2026, man.
Yeah.
It's
Do we dare do a price prediction after every year we've got it wrong? I mean, we've still, yeah, we've got it wrong.
do the inverse Kramer. So what we at? We're at 69K right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are we going to be at the end of this year? Obviously, the obvious answer was 420.
Stop it!
69 to 420 written in the stars.
Wow. So you're really gonna go 420?
Just for the meme. For the meme.
I'm gonna go 150 and stop.
Well, I think most people would take that. And then a 90K up. Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, I'll go 150, and this is for the year. Like,
Yeah. For two,
yeah,
Between January to January, basically.
Yeah, between January to January. Yeah, 150.
Well,
And I'm
man,
confident on that.
we started at 60k last year. I think I said 500k. I have fucking no clue. Maybe a million. I don't even know. But multiple factors off. Ridiculous factors up.
Yeah,
Mate,
yeah.
25% up. I don't think was in anyone's prediction. We did go up, but not by anyway near as much as we thought we were. But anyway, let's get out of here, dude. You got a long day, and
I got a long day. Had a
we got
long
some
day.
snowman dicks to build. So let's get out of here.
Well, that has been Pod 187, which has been in the wings and the waiting for a long time to actually be aired, but it's been done. And it's been brought to you by Mr. Orlin, aka the Trillion Dollar Man, myself, Sir Neverlook, aka the Excellence of Execution, no Mrs. No Show, and no Dr. Evil 10%. Peace.